Today's lesson we are going to talk about conditional statements. And a conditional statement is an if-then statement. For example, uh, if you study, then you will get good grades. Just as a simple example, okay? Now, each conditional statement is broken into two parts. You have the if part and the then part. The if part is called the hypothesis, okay? The if part. And it's not including the if. Not including if. So in this case, you study would be the hypothesis. And then the conclusion is the then part. So again, not including the word then. You will get good grades would be the conclusion. The truth value of a conditional statement is basically whether or not it's true or false. Okay? In this case, if you study, then you'll get good grades. That may or may not be true all the time. So in this case, if you study, then you will get good grades. Yeah, that's true most of the time, but there are plenty of examples where you might study and you might not get a good grade because maybe you forgot, okay? If you have a counterexample to prove something's false, okay, anytime the truth value of an if-then statement is false, you have to provide a counterexample, all right? And a counterexample proves it false. Okay, the last thing we're going to talk about is a converse. And what a converse is when you switch the hypothesis and conclusion. And that's what a converse is. When you switch the hypothesis and conclusion, that becomes the converse of the original conditional statement. Okay, next we're going to do a couple of examples. Number one, we're going to identify the hypothesis and conclusion. Okay, so again, the hypothesis followed the word if. All right, so the hypothesis would be two lines are parallel. And the conclusion was the part after the word then. Next, we're going to write the following statement as a conditional. Now, there's two main ideas to this sentence. It says an acute angle is less than 90 degrees. So I have two ideas, acute angle and less than 90 degrees. So the acute angle part is going to be my hypothesis, and less than 90 degrees is going to be my conclusion. So if I kind of write this as an if-then, it's going to be if an angle is acute, then it's less than 90 degrees. Okay, next, number three, what is the truth value of the following statement? If it's false, provide a counterexample. If two lines do not intersect, then they are parallel. That's false. I know that skew lines would be my counterexample. Number four, we're going to write the converse of this statement. If an angle's measure is 180 degrees, then it is a straight angle. So if I flip-flop the hypothesis and conclusion, I will have the converse. If an angle is straight, then it's 180 degrees. And last but not least, we have number five. Write the converse of the following statement and determine the truth value of both. So we have one statement here. It says, if a figure is a square, then it has 4 right angles. That's true. If I flip-flop it and write the converse, if a figure has 4 right angles, then it is a square. That would be false, because a rectangle also has 4 right angles, but is not a square. That concludes the lesson on conditional statements. Thank you for joining me, and have a nice day.